everybody, and it's been a while since my last update. It was the week before Thanksgiving break, and I took the week off, so I didn't update. But that means also I didn't show you the week 11 update, and week 12 was a break, and then this week was week 13. So I know it's a bit late. Hope you all had a good Thanksgiving. I'm looking forward to the Christmas break now, and when that comes up, I hope you enjoy that too. And I'm just going to get straight into this. For week 11, I didn't end up tallying everything out because by the end of the week, some weird things happened and I didn't actually get around to doing it. But we're going to go over just quickly. I did my first terrible perspective drawing from reference, and it just gave me a headache. It makes me nauseous doing that, and I don't know why, so we're going to have to work on it. Did some more of the alphabet app. Looked up some different exercises. These are terrible, but I tried, well, starting perspective drawings. This one was optional. I was curious to see how it would work, but this was one that was actually a part of the thing I was doing, so turned out alright for what it is. Over here, we've got some more head sketches, nothing too fancy. I do think I'm getting better at them, feeling a little more confident in them, but it still takes a while to do them. This is my I think this was supposed to be the last week of me completing my chapter 1 for Genki, including the workbook and the text. So I started doing some of that. When I was looking back at the curriculum that I generated from ChatGPT, one of the things I was supposed to be doing this semester was to start working on a mini comic. So I didn't actually start any of that. So kind of started playing with some things here. Not really certain on it, but we'll see how it plays out. But these are just some characters I sketched out just for some variety. Nothing any special, but that was just me playing with that. November 20th, more homework, alphabet app, the rest of my Genki workbook pages, completed those. Missed a couple things, but got the corrections done. Continued off to do some gesture drawings, did some sketching, random sketches, watching South Park, so I tried to do Butters, but it came out hideous. More sketches, more sketches. That was pretty much all for week 11. Week 12, like I said, was the fall break, and then this was week 13. After the fall break, like I said, some weird things happened, so this whole week has just been so bizarre to me, so I didn't do a whole lot. Monday and Tuesday I was kind of sick anyway. I was able to do some of my Japanese studies, but not too much on the art side of it. I did yesterday and Saturday night I did a little bit more sketches, and even yesterday I did some too. We'll go over those here in a second. But that's pretty much what we got for here. Start off easy, slow, redoing the hiragana and katakana alphabet quiz. I didn't do anything for fall break, so I kind of forgot some of them, and that's what these are. And of course I hadn't mastered katakana anyway, so I'm still learning those. Did a YouTube listening thing, can't really see it here, but I was mostly writing down the words that I recognized in English, and I'm going to start trying to write them in Japanese eventually. So that was what I did for, I think that was Tuesday. Didn't do any drawing on Tuesday, like I said, I was sick. Wednesday, did some more of the alphabet quiz just to kind of catch up. I don't know if I had mentioned it or not, but I had already planned to try to focus the rest of my time in these last couple of weeks of the class time, quote unquote, to really anchor in the alphabet. So I've just been working on the app primarily. Work on there. Still trying to work on designs for a comic that I'm working on. Still having some troubles figuring out what I want where the setting is going to be. I know what I want the setting to be, like written down, but the design wise is what I'm working on. So I started trying to do some doodles there, some sketches, more gesture drawings. I took my first recall test, and I missed 55 out of 208 characters, which is more than I was hoping to miss, but when you look at it, it's actually not terrible. And these are things that pretty much I pulled from memory. Didn't look at any references or anything until after I had done it all and we went through it. So 55 characters is not too bad. I'm going to try to make sure I take a recall test. Ideally, I'd like to do it at least 3 times a week, but I have to write all this stuff out again. I did have ChatGPT generate me a blank slate for this, and if I can remember, I'll go ahead and get that printed off so I can just write it down right away, not have to keep doing it myself. But at least if I could do once a week these next 2 weeks and kind of see where I'm at, I think that would be good. So it took me about 45 minutes to do that. Going through the vocabulary for the first chapter, trying to learn actually how to spell the words now, and spelling them out will also help me memorize the alphabet too. It's been helping me. I've been using my sorry, I keep saying I'm so sorry. Um, I've been using my app on my phone now, kind of copying the words to say them out, and I'll be doing that every day, hopefully this week coming up, whenever I have a chance. Did the katakana and hiragana app again. Things like I did a typo on some of them, but I still wrote them down because why not? By this point, I was copying the story that I read, the Fox and the Crane story. I was just kind of started off writing out the sentences just to start writing and learning to write it more, again, to help me recall more of the characters and start spelling some of these Japanese words as well. If I had any questions about the way the sentence was structured, I would look it up, figure it out, and whenever I would figure it out, I'd write that in blue. And so hopefully that will keep me, it'll start cementing in as I do that. This is actually more than what I was going to do for the rest of this semester. Like I said, I was just supposed to be working on alphabet, learning the alphabet, but this is a good way to do it too, and it's a little more fun, not so tedious. So then I took a break, and when I came back, what I started to do, oh no, I was still doing that right here. Did a hiragana app, did some sketches. Then when I came back to it, what I started to do was looked up the common verbs they use. And I figured that's going to be really helpful to start helping me understand some of the sentence structures, understanding what people are saying. If you understand some of these verbs at the end of it, you kind of understand what they're talking about. Like if they're going somewhere, if they're doing something, if they're eating something or reading something. So I figured that would be a good way to start. Again, helping me read with the alphabet and then helping me understand that. Started to write down make up some sentences, and then I would ask ChatGPT. I know it's not exactly, it's like not 100% reliable, but it's good for a basic tool to get me started. So I'd type in some sentences, ask if the sentence was correct, and then if it wasn't correct, ChatGPT would correct me. If it was correct, then it would tell me what happened, why, and explain everything, whether I was right or wrong. And it also helps me understand a little bit better on how to use the particles, as well as understanding when to use the common verbs. So I'm going to be going over the common verbs for the rest of this week, and the rest of this time, as well as learning the alphabet, and start trying to put together basic sentences. Though it's not really a priority, but I think it will help. I did that for a couple pages. Didn't finish all the common verb sheet because I think there's like 80 of them. I don't know how many there were. There were a lot of them. So I just got down to a certain amount. Then I kind of took a break. So yeah, that was not too bad. Did some more doodles. Didn't too bad. This thing right here I really like. So I saved it, and later on you'll see I did a better design on it. I'm working with it. I'm not sure if I'm happy with the the last result I just did, but I'm still going to be working on these designs. I feel like there's potential there. So figured I would do that. Did some really bad bear sketches, and then did this one after I had used references. It's still not exactly perfect. I think his snoot's too big, but it's not too bad after only here. Man, if I can bring it over here and show you guys. So there goes my Dr. Pepper. So this was the first attempt I did. This was the second attempt I did. And then I stopped looking at it and just kind of did this one without looking at anything, based on what I learned from here. And I think it came out pretty well. So I was happy with that one. Again, like I said, I know his snoot's a little too big, too long, but I liked it. I feel happy with it. And then this is going back to the design of the creature. This was the original body that I did. Trying to figure out what kind of legs I want it to have. I don't want it to have horse legs. It's kind of hoofs, kind of weird, so I'm still going to be playing with it. Kind of worked on the face here. I think he came out really cool looking here. He kind of looks like a Muppet, but I'll work on that too. And then ultimately, this is where I stopped off on it. I am really excited about this design, how it's coming out. I want to get it colored soon. I'm going to bring this down here a little bit so I can move this up. Yeah, so he came out pretty cool looking. Again, I'm still working on him. He's going to be, I think I'm going to use him for my comic when I get to that point, so it'll help me with a bit of better world building. I was trying to figure out, kind of for references, what some of the textures will be. Yeah, it's kind of funny because I started writing down the English word here and it started making it look messy. I thought it was kind of cool that when you start writing down the Japanese kanji, how much more professional and clean, and it kind of looks really cool. So I was like, yay! It looks, in my opinion, like I said, a little more professional, clean. My handwriting doesn't look too bad when you're doing the kanji. So that was that. I actually finished it up yesterday. Oh yeah, did I say so? Yeah, it was done yesterday. So that's where I stopped there, and now we're in today. I almost forgot to do today's recording. This video is a little longer. No, it's about 10 minutes. Okay, cool. Sorry if I spoke fast. I had to get 2 weeks out of the way with everything that was going on. But this is where I left off. Hopefully tomorrow I'll be able to continue doing my homework. I've already planned out what I'm going to do for next semester, and that's pretty much really, it's going to be so difficult for me to really anchor in to sitting down and studying. So what you can expect in the next couple of weeks, if you are still following or interested in this, I will finish up the semester with everything I have over the Christmas break, which for me will be 2 weeks. So I'm going to put together everything that I found useful for this first kind of like I call it the proto semester, and write down my recommendations, suggestions, things that help me, things that get me going, encourage, all that kind of stuff. I'll put it all in a file. It's going to be in like a basic Word file or document. It's not going to be anything fancy because right now I don't have actual Word. It'll probably be a WordPad. I don't actually have Word. I don't have like Excel or anything like that. I've never used those programs before. And right now I'm kind of trying to save a little bit of money for some things that's coming up. So it's going to be in a basic Word document, or WordPad, sorry, document. So it's a little tacky, but when I'm done with that first curriculum, my suggestions, and the list of everything that we need, cost and everything, I will put it on my Patreon. I will post my Patreon link on the in the comments of that video, and it's going to be free. I'm not. Don't worry. There's nothing saying that you have to. I don't even have any tiers on there. It's just a place I feel is reliable for you guys to download the information that you need from it. So right now I'm just using that. So it's going to be free. If you wanted to try it out, I can give you my suggestions. Like I said, all will be in there. I'll talk a little bit more about it when I've compiled some more information and data together from what I've done. And I'll explain why I did the things I did in that video, how it worked out for me, how I was comfortable with, and feel free to use it. I'm just going to tell you exactly how I put my stuff together. If you are not only interested in learning the language side of it, that's fine. If you're only interested in learning the art side of it, that's also fine. But if you want to do both, this is kind of how it helps me to learn a little bit. So I hope that maybe somebody can use it. And then of course, if you can add on to it, find a better ways to work around it or something, feel free to change it up if you want. I would love to see your suggestions if you do make any changes. Doesn't mean I'm going to make those changes, but to talk about them, make them ideas, perfect. Have fun. I just kind of think that would be fun to encourage the community and for people who want to learn these things to learn them. And here's kind of the resources. Like I said, I'm going to get more into that probably before the end of the year. By the end of the year, once I'm done with these last 2 weeks, we have 13, so we have 3 more weeks to go before the break. I think my last week actually ends on one of my break, so 14 is 15. Yeah, so I might call my week. No, I'll do it to the very end. Yeah, so technically my 16th week might actually be on the first week of the break, so you'll get it then. But either way, I'll get it together before the New Year's, and if you want to start on it at the beginning of the new year, it'll be ready for you. I'm talking to Lutmong. If I keep going on, I'll go in circles. So thank you for listening, and I will see you at the end of next week with hopefully better results than this time. See you around, and have a good night.